All right. So, hello everyone and welcome back to Math Monday. So, this is the third episode ng ating Math Monday. So, for today, we'll do something a bit different aside from solving math equations. So, this is another important application in not just math in general, but for understanding science, since mostly sa ating mga science-related courses, we will encounter many graphs. And we need to know how to interpret those graphs and how to read those graphs and how to explain them. Ano? So, for today, we'll do something a bit simple, but I think it would benefit uh, many of us. Ano? So, ayun. Without further ado, let us begin. So, yun nga, graphs are essential in explaining relationships with related variables. Ano? So let's say we have this uh, position versus time graph. No? So ang ating independent variable dito, of course, is yung ating time because it's linear. And then the position changes with respect to time. So makita natin that uh, ano siya, it turns into a curve. Ano? So it's kind of a exponential or logarithmic function and whatever function it may be. Parang yun yung nagiging behavior niya. And now, uh, we know that calculus is not just solving equations, but it is literally the math of change. So makita natin, if you take the first derivative of, let's say, a function of f of t, no, say we have an f of t function. If you take the derivative of that, which is f prime of t, then uh, let's consider this graph. You will end up with something like this, which is yung ating velocity. No, because if we take the derivative of this, ano, we will end up with the velocity, and now it is a straight line. Ano? So what it basically explains is that yun yung rate of change natin. Ano? So what it basically means that yung ating velocity is increasing at a constant rate. And if we're just speaking calculus, now if you take the area, no, if you take the area of this curve, say you take the area, ano, this is the area of that curve. And sabihin natin, since it is pretty much a right triangle, pwede natin siyang explain na that area is equal to 1/2 of the base times the height. And yung area na to, this will give you yung displacement. No? However, uh, we also know that whenever you have an irregular function na, let's say, hindi na siya linear or it's not geometric anymore, kumbaga, the general formula for the area is basically uh, the integral of, let's say, of f of t dt. And let's say that's from a position, ano, or a time, say, from t1 to t2. So, yun yung general formula for finding the area of a given curve. So, that's one way to explain it. And if we look at this graph right here, no, makita natin na merong second derivative, which is yung acceleration. So, what the acceleration is telling us, or what the graph is telling us, is that yung velocity natin is constant. No? So, kaya siya nagmumukhang flat, no? It's kind of flat in this sense. Okay? So, let's imagine, let's say, a car, ano? So, nag-start siya from rest, and then nag-accelerate siya smoothly. So, kumbaga, it changes position, it moves at a constant rate, ano? And yung kanyang acceleration is constant. So, it is constantly changing its uh, not really constantly changing, but yung kanyang velocity is constant, therefore yung ating acceleration is nagiging mukhang flat dito. Okay? And also, if you notice, just from a mathematical perspective, mapapansin natin na yung we have these lines, ano, and of course, you can consider yung ating mga tangent line, yung ating secant line, which basically tells, ano, so if we go back to our math classes, ano, so Yung ating secant line is basically the straight line that connects 2 points on a curve. No? So, if I were to make a secant line, then from here, parang, we're basically connecting 2 points there, and also we have the tangent line, no? Which is, kumbaga, siya yung instantaneous rate of change. So if your secant line, let's say it is the average rate of change, yung ating tangent line, no, that is yung ating, yun nga, instantaneous rate of change. Or what it basically means, it is the first derivative. That is why when we take the derivative, it is also called taking the slope of the tangent line. So that's one way to interpret it when we're talking about motion. So yan yung common uses niya when we're talking about motion. And yun nga, taking the integral gives you the reverse of it. So kumbaga, if we take the integral of this function, then we will end up with this. And now, if you take the integral of this, you will end up with that. So parang yun yung sinasabi niya sa atin. Okay? So let's move on to another application. And ito yung ating stress and strain diagrams. Okay? So makikita natin, based dito sa ating purple curve, so minomodel niya yung stress-strain behavior in materials. So as we can see, based on its behavior, yung stress, nag-i-increase siya gradually, and then it flattens, and then it rises. This yung pinapakita niya yung basically yung material stiffness. And now if you look at yung ating curve here, it is quite similar dun sa motion. So it represents yung ating first derivative, which is yung ating tangent modulus, or basically the stiffness at any point. And now, when the orange curve is 0, malalaman natin na at that point, the stress is not increasing because it's a turning point. And yung key points na yun is magagamit natin siya for material testing. Now, dito sa ating brown line, ito yung ating second derivative. This shows how stiffness itself is changing. Since ito yung stiffness, dito niya pinapakita kung ano yung rate of change ng stiffness, which is basically yung ating inflection points. So going back to our differential calculus classes, if you find the second derivative of a given function, you find its inflection points. So it's similar here. And dito for this context ng ating stress and strain, it represents yung ating behavior ng material. Let's say, whenever it turns from elastic to plastic. So parang doon niya pinapakita yung behavior, let's say, of an iron, an alloy, or other metals that you can think of. So it tells you, or it helps you decide, if a material can withstand stress before failure. So yun yung na-explain niya, of course. And again, using calculus, you can take the integral of yung derivatives natin, yung ating mga second and first derivatives, and we can end up with yung ating mga stress. So, ayun, I think that's it for this section. Now, ito naman sa pangatlo, this is just basically Boyle's law, but we are interpreting it visually. So makita natin, we know na yung ating relationship nga is the volume is inversely proportional to the pressure. So makita natin, dito sa ating, let's look at this blue curve, for example. So makita natin that yung ating blue curve is nagde-decrease as the volume increases. So this is basically that. So kapag tumataas yung pag tumataas yung volume, bumababa yung pressure. Okay? So that's the basic concept of that. And tingnan natin yung ating red curve. So, ito yung slope ng ating PV curve. Ano? Or it is basically yung ating dP over dV, which is the rate of the change of the pressure with respect to the volume. No? And it's always negative. No, it's always negative, which makes sense dahil whenever you have more volume, you have less pressure. Okay? And makikita natin dito, which is kind of counterintuitive, is how steep the red curve is. So, from this point, let's say, from this point, it changes pretty quickly. No? So, makita natin dito sa volume natin, it just takes a bit of units of volume. Let's say, nagsisimula dito sa something from near 1 to 2, no? Then you go from somewhere to like 6. Then, malaki na yung change na mangyayari. So, makita natin how sensitive pressure is to the change in volume. Because at a low volume, a tiny expansion causes a big pressure drop. No? So, we can interpret this in such a way that makita natin yung behavior ng gases or fluids in general, and this is critical in designing engines or compressors for that matter, where pressure volume behavior matters. No, since if we don't consider this, there might be flaws with the design and maakapekto yun sa efficiency ng gagawin nating engines or compressors or whatever. And ayun, this basically highlights how we can read graphs in a way na on a mathematical perspective. So, meron pa ding way if you just understand the behavior of the lines and how it looks like. So, magamit mo din siya sa, let's say, thermodynamics, such as cycles, and then there's also more graphs to go with, since napag-aralan na din naman natin siya in calculus where we trace curves, all that stuff, find the inflection points, and find the equation of the normal line, the tangent line, all that stuff. So, ayan, parang refresher lang siya, but it's now focused on the applications. So, ayan, I think that would be it for this episode of Math Monday. So, I hope I gave you some insights on how you should approach in interpreting graphs. So, if you learned something from this video, then I'm grateful. So, I hope you can find some graphs and then you can analyze how you should be able to understand it, no? And ayun lang, I guess that would be it for this video. So, I'll see you guys tomorrow sa ating uh, Tech Tuesday, no? And ayun lang. Thank you guys and goodbye. Happy learning.